7 signs of a false prophet. Now, why is this message very important? I'm going to show you in Matthew chapter 24. 7 signs of a false prophet. I'm going to show you in Matthew chapter 24. After establishing the importance of this message with 2 scriptures, then I would now go on to tell you the signs. Matthew chapter 24. I would read from verse 3. As Jesus was on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately. Tell us, they said, when will this happen, and what will be the sign of your coming and of the end of the age? Jesus answered, watch out that no one deceives you. He begins with deceit, and you're deceived by people. So no one. In other words, most of the mistakes, most of your doings will come from external deception. Says, and now he begins to explain the kind of people that would most likely deceive you. He says, for many will come in my name, claiming that I, Jesus, I am the Christ. He's talking about preachers, prophets, ministers. So here Jesus places the prophets, the teachers, the ministers on a very high pedestal in the scale of the business of deception. The people that are most likely to deceive are the preachers, the prophets, and the ministers. And Jesus started by saying, first of all, let no one deceive you, for many will come in my name and say, I am the Christ, that Jesus is the Christ, telling you that not every person that preaches Jesus actually is for Jesus, and will deceive many. Praise the Lord. It says, let's move down to verse 10. It said, at that time many would turn away from the faith and would betray and hate each other. Why? Because many false prophets would appear and deceive many people. Well, I believe that most people are deceived because they want to be deceived. Yes, but somebody encourages them. Some people are weak. They will always need the help, the assistance of somebody else to help them through. And so such people, when they fall into the hands of deceivers, it will be easy. Then some other people just need company to do their evil. But most generally, people are deceived basically by prophets, ministers, preachers, teachers. I'm going to give you 7 signs of them. So you see the importance of why I'm talking about this 7 signs of a false prophet or a false teacher. Because they are the one that has been given the duty, the responsibility to build you. So you have to depend so much on what they do to become mature. Hence, one of your major businesses should be to find out the real ministers who will truly build you. Because if you meet the false ones, they will not build you but devastate you and destroy you. So their works will become the opposite of what the real ones will do. So if the real ministers are to bring maturity, the false ones will bring immaturity. If the real one, their work is to take you to heaven, these deceivers will take you to hell. And most people have gone to hell because of false prophets and false ministers. That's why I'll be talking about the 7 signs of a false prophet or a false minister so that you know who they really are. Are you ready? The first one, their first sign, let's go to 1 John chapter 4. 1 John, the first epistle of John, chapter 4. Let me show you the first sign of a false prophet, chapter 4. I'll read carefully from verse 1 to 6, but I'll be concentrating on verses 5 and 6. It said, dear friends, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits to see whether they are from God. That's why when folks come to me the first time, I give you an assignment to go find out the spirit I work with. It's your duty to discern and find out the spirit of a minister of God before you start listening to him or submit to him. Test all spirits to see whether they are from God, because many false prophets have gone out into the world. Many. There are many. Many means you have more of them than the good ones. But that's why denominations look the way they are. If the good ones were many, denominations wouldn't be the way they are. The way denominations are now, the fastest route to hell is joining a denomination. Because they legalize sin, legalize iniquity, and they cover it with sweet teachings how Jesus died for you and you're saved by grace and not by works. Yes, but you're not sustained by grace. You're still sustained by works. Paul said, I am what I am by the grace, yet I worked harder. They will sugarcoat the messages and take you. Before you went to the denomination, you were a bit close to God. At least you were making your way to God. You get into a denomination and you're now lost from God completely. Yes, get very confused. This is how you can recognize the Spirit of God. Every spirit that acknowledges that Jesus Christ has come in the flesh is from God. But every spirit that does not acknowledge Jesus is not from God. This is the spirit of the Antichrist, which you've heard is coming, and even now is already in the world. You, their children, are from God and have overcome them, because the one who is in you is greater than the one who is in the world. They are from the world and therefore speak from the viewpoint of the world. He's not telling you about the false preacher. He said they are of the world and therefore they speak from the viewpoint of the world. And the world listens to them. We are from God, and whoever knows God listens to us. But whoever is not from God does not listen to us. This is how we recognize the spirit of truth and the spirit of falsehood. Any so-called prophet or the minister of God that the world enjoys his message is not a God. Because his message is diluted. When you preach the truth, the world will run from you. That's what John is saying here. He said the world listens to them because they speak to please the world. They speak the viewpoint of the world. But we are from God, and whoever knows God is the one that listens to us. And you don't know God until you obey God. That's why you go to, I hear a man in America, I don't want to mention his name, he has a huge congregation. And he was being interviewed by Oprah Winfrey, and Oprah Winfrey asked him, is Jesus the only way to God? He said, not really. There are, so everybody clamors. The Buddhists like him. The Iyke like him. The Muslims like him. They're like, this is a real man. He does not discriminate. You see pastors stand on pulpit today and tell you, don't worry. All you need to do is make sure you give seeds. Once saved, always saved. Everybody likes that message. But when you preach the message of real holiness, people would desert you. When you see a minister of God that listen to me, people listen to what they do. I've never seen a medical doctor who will register in a school of nursing. I've never seen a businessman who will go and register in the school of singing. I've never seen a carpenter who goes to the school of engineering. So, a man listens to what he wants to do and what he likes to do. And a man enjoys a message that agrees with his plans.
It's irrelevant, he will easily switch it off.
Yes. When a man listens to a message that is irrelevant to him, he will not listen. So when majority of unbelievers, disobedient people, enjoy listening to you, not that there's a difference between enjoying a message and allowing a message discipline you and rebuke you. But they feel comfortable and they are thrilled listening to this man of God. Stay away from him, he's of the world. Stay far away from such a person. He's not of God. Praise the Lord. So John is saying here that a true minister of God will not be listened to by the world. The world will not accept his message. They will always discriminate him. Look at Jesus when he was on earth. The Pharisees never liked his messages. The Sadducees never liked his messages. These were causing those that made up their mind they would never do the right thing. He was always criticized. So I see denominations where a minister of God in quote has thousands of followers. They come and sit down. They don't believe in obeying God. They don't believe in practicing the word of God. But they are very cool listening to him. It tells you that the man is a false prophet because he's not teaching the right thing. So the first sign of a false prophet is that the world believes and listens to them. And the world is comfortable with their messages. I'll repeat this scripture again. It says, they are from the world and therefore speak from the viewpoint of the world. And the world listens to them because they speak from the world's point of view. Oh, I like this man of God. When he comes, he teaches you how to make money. All you need to do, hustle, navigate your way. Whether you break protocols, whether you do it illicitly, just be wise and make money. We like him. That man of God is not from God.
That shall not be cut.
Yes, that shall not be cut. Whichever way, just make sure your offering flows in. I've been to denominations where the pastor will ask a brother, how is your fiancé? Now, he knows these two are having a illicit relationship. They sleep, they have sex, and they hide it. They hide under the name of fiancé, engagement. And you see pastors condoning, you didn't come with your fiancé today. Oh, she's at my place. She decided to clean the house. And the pastor is not decent enough to tell them that you can't give a tuber of yam to a goat to keep for you. Something can happen. If you want to date a lady, if you want to strike a godly relationship, do it from a distance. And so it is ancient. It's antediluvian. It's antiquated. This is orthodox. Old school. This is what do you mean? So you come to such church, you see plenty brothers having sex with plenty sisters in the name of learning themselves, preparing for marriage, and the pastor is not preaching against it. There was a time in my ministry, a lot of fraudsters came for counseling. It was seasonal. They came and they all left at the same time. Because when they come and sit in a meeting, I'll start teaching. If you are here and your income causes another man to cry, you're going to hell. Don't even drop that offering here. It's cursed. Likewise you. And here is a holy place. They all disappeared. In fact, some of them came to me and said, are you the only man of God? Other ministers allow us. After all, the kingdom suffered violence, the violent take it by force. You see, the ministers now preach to please them. This is a sign of a false prophet. Any person that the unbelievers, all and sundry, feel comfortable listening to is preaching to please them. Stay away from such a person. Except you deceive as well. Then I'll tell you, listen to him. Go to John chapter 15. The Gospel of John chapter 15. I want to show you something. I'll read from verse 18 to 25. If the world hates you, keep it in mind that he hated me first. Jesus is saying categorically clear, if you are of me, Jesus, the world will hate you. Because the world will always resist, and the Bible says the children of darkness resist the children of light. And that was why Cain hated Abel. But today people claim to be Abel, and yet they're in love with Cain. Then you were never an Abel. Oh, people hate me. This man that claims so, whenever there is peace, when he shows up, there'll be trouble. Always putting panic in people. Always saying things to. Well, somebody actually told me, what are you trying to claim? Are you trying to be different? I said, sure. I don't want to be part of the world. Jesus said, one of the mark of a true servant of God is that the world will hate you. He said, if the world hates you, keep it in mind that he hated me first. If you belong to the world, it will love you as its own. That's why you see some men of God, the world loves them, they follow them. If you go to their congregation, you see ardent criminals, ardent prostitutes, ardent armed robbers, ardent politicians, ardent ritualists are core members. It tells you the Spirit of God is not there. They don't serve God. I don't know where you'll be tomorrow. Like I said from the inception, tomorrow the Lord can say, oh, I'm opening the door for you. You're going to France or you're going to Western region. There's a big oil to mine there and you might not see me again. Definitely we can't sit like this together forever. It will expire one day. Everything that has a beginning has an end. When it expires and you move on, you must know the kind of people you give yourself to. Except you're deceiving yourself. That's why people don't hang around me. They now tell me that I'm very proud, arrogant, and hard. I say, thank you, sir. When they make such remarks, I enjoy it. Because I feel like Jesus. Or they called him a naughty, proud boy, 30 years. Yet we won't listen to him. Small boy. Talking to elders anyhow. Praise God.
Yeah.
Verse 19, if you belong to the world, it will love you as its own. As it is, you do not belong to the world, but I have chosen you out of the world. That is why the world hates you. Remember the words I spoke to you. No servant is greater than his master. Look at Peter. Look at Apostle Peter and the 12 apostles. The kings of their time never liked them. But today, ministers of God in court testify. And I have a breakthrough. The president invited me. The governor now comes to my house. The minister is now my friend. And the question is this, you ask yourself, how many of these presidents, governors, ministers got to the top through righteousness? No. And they are your friends.
It's probably.
you are not of Christ. I see ministers, even some I enjoy their ministry, that are being flocked around by politicians. And these politicians visit them and they leave them comfortably and still continue in their wicked ways. It means the man is not of God. Screaming Jesus is Lord and God using you to heal does not make you part of God. The gifts and the gift and the calling of God are without repentance. Because a minister of God walks his giftings does not mean he is in line with God. Jesus never got the favor of these world rulers because he never preached what they wanted to hear. I see ministers, movie actors, actresses come to their churches and they give them microphone because this one is a star, and they take the microphone, a supposedly holy altar. I saw one saying comic things on the altar of a so-called man of God. You take the microphone. Now, this is a man that's not giving the microphone to the pastors who have submitted to him for years. You don't see them with the microphone. But a movie star shows up. Jesus never practiced this. When a movie star shows up, they give them a front seat. And they give them microphone. They'll come and talk nonsense. They might be coming to that Sunday from a nightclub. Some come from on top of women. Some come from cocaine. Just finished sniffing this. And they come and carry the microphone. And all manner of people are comfortable with them. People go to their churches with condom. After service from there, they move straight to you. Avoid such people. He said, remember the words I spoke to you. No servant is greater than his master. So you can't enjoy what Jesus did not enjoy. If Jesus at the peak of purity did not enjoy the favor from the world, you'll be joking thinking you enjoy the world's favor. When you begin to enjoy that favor from them, it means you have compromised. If they persecuted me, they will persecute you also. If they obeyed my teaching, they will obey yours also. They will treat you this way because of my name, for they do not know the one who sent me. If I had not come and spoken to them, they would not be guilty of sin. Now, however, they have no excuse for their sin. He who hates me hates my Father as well. If I had not done among them what no one else did, they would not be guilty of sin. But now they have seen these miracles, and yet they have hated both me and my Father. So, but this is to fulfill what is written in their law. They hated me without reason. So, one of the signs of a false prophet is that people like him. The world likes him. Amok like him. These ones like him. Prostitutes feel cool around him. Armed robbers feel cool around him. All and sundry. They have what we call mixed crowd. And no effort is made to change people. But come as you are is not wrong. What is wrong is come as you are and remain as you are. Stay as you are. Jesus said, I didn't come from believers. That's true. That's what this man will quote. But there was no unbeliever he got to that he didn't change. He met the tax collector, the criminal Matthew, and he became an apostle. He met Zacchaeus, and Zacchaeus became a believer. But these so-called ministers or prophets, they meet with unbelievers and strengthen their unbelief. A politician called, pray for me, I need to win this election. Win. The politician takes the blessing, kills children, offers sacrifices, wins the election, and brings the man money, the man of God. He said, now I belong. I'm going somewhere. Stay away from such people. The second sign of a false prophet. You might not like what I'm saying, but I sure you do know what I mean. I'm talking about the signs of false prophets.